Okay then, let's see if this time everything works. So hopefully there is no lag compared to my previous try where we did experience some lag. So hopefully that is solved. Let me know. I do not have a message in YouTube at the moment that says that there is any lag. So, you know, hopefully that is sorted. No lag. No, okay, that's cool. Okay, problem solved. So I restarted Wi-Fi, restarted the system, and cool. So we can be live. Very nice. So I decided to go live, and I do realize I uploaded a video earlier today, which actually played out as price took out the low. So this low here, which is very nice. However, I also realized that there's emotion in the market, and I received quite a lot of DMs on the movement in price, like more like psychology. Bear market is a term that is being coined once more, right? Is the top in? Is the top not in? And all of that stuff. So I'm generally not a like actually not really ever an emotional trader, at least not anymore. I was back in the day, but experience and all that stuff. So hopefully by being live, I can answer some questions, show my Elliott Wave scenarios. We can go to the weekly time frame, and because of all the questions about, so I got a couple of DMs saying, so how, like, if the top would be in, what would be your best way of counting it? So I checked the chart, and I redid like a bearish scenario, which for the bears out here will be interesting to see, and I'll share my thoughts. So I actually put some time in some bearish scenarios compared to the previous high time frame video, where I mainly focused on the current bull market and another 4 or 5. But yeah, we can talk about the weekly time frame. And of course, what's happening locally as well. And, we just chat, answer questions and all of that stuff. I do think it's interesting. Like in the previous live stream, like a couple of minutes ago, which was lagging, I actually put on a poll. So let me do it again. And the question was something like, let's see what you all think. And then it was, top is in, bear market starts. Top is not in, bull market is on. So let's start the poll. We're going to just run that. And yeah, we're going to start analyzing the chart. Welcome, everyone. It's good to see you here. While apparently my browser struggling a little bit, TradingView, hello. Of course, I had to reboot I rebooted the whole system also, like the laptop and everything. So it may need a second here, or it is TradingView, who knows. But in the meantime, we can just have a look at chat. So welcome everyone, good to have you here. So I think it was a good time to go live, answer some questions, talk some trading psychology, my approach, high time frame, low time frame, what am I looking at, all of that stuff. So Matias, by the way, welcome from Argentina. Legendario, Mugandusi, what's up? Mupi here as well. Finally. Yo, XU, what's up? Oku, Emre, Rona, no lag. Thanks for the feedback, everyone. George or George. Rivaldi, price keeps dropping. Why? More sell pressure than buying pressure, no? Some lag now. Yeah, okay. Let me refresh this. Come on, man. I'm trying to refresh my browser here. What's happening? Yeah, price is falling. Internet is struggling. At least we can still answer questions. It should be back in a second. I don't know what's up. The video stopped. Yeah, in the previous try. Yeah, I know we had lag previous time around. Heshan, welcome. Stanko, Taha, Umar, Chuck, welcome from the USA, other side of the world. Texas, Or what am I saying? Texas, Kansas. Kansas. Haven't been there yet. Internet connection went into the bear market. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's on. Also, my my like Wi-Fi thing in the room is on as well. So, yo, Orange, you know, if you're here, fix your shit. Like, we're literally paying for the best. Stopped again. It should be okay now, I guess. So I don't see any flashing on my Wi-Fi thingy. Now it's OK. Yeah, okay. Cool. Let's hope it stays like that. Let's hope it stays like that. At least YouTube is not giving me any warning signs. So, very nice. Cool. So what we're going to do... Yeah, now I'm back. Yeah, it should be good. So what I'm going to do now is... oh, wait. I actually see in my OBS there were dropped frames. We're just going to try. Because I think that was my Wi-Fi, which I hope now is doing better again. So just keep me informed, I guess. But I don't know what's happening. Like... The sound is sharp. Okay, well, it should work. I mean, my sound should be my normal microphone here. So not my laptop microphone, but my actual Koens microphones. Okay, we're good now. Cool. Let's start. So what I was saying is, yeah, I know. But where we are at the moment, I can pull a wire, but it's gonna run through the house. So I need to run it through the walls, and yeah, one day. So okay, I'm getting warnings, but I mean, chat is the best warning. So what we're gonna do in this live stream, if internet holds up, is first of all answer questions. Have a look at Bitcoin here. Go to the weekly time frame, as I had a couple of questions about it, and yeah, just have a good chat. So the reason I go live, as I updated or provided an update earlier today, is due to receiving a lot of DMs on mainly like trading psychology, like, oh, how far are we going down, and is the top end, is the bear market starting? If you would count the weekly time frame and you know, what's your best bearish scenario and that sort of stuff. So, you know, there's emotion in the market. Of course, price is moving down, but I actually just wrote to Discord the following. So I'll just read this here, where so I got multiple questions about if the bull market top is in, how would you count this the best way, which is a reason I'm live as well. So I can understand there's emotion in the market as price moved down from all-time high, right? Very normal. Price is never moving in a straight line. Now Elliott Waves, and now we go to I'm going to start on the weekly time frame again. You can see my weekly scenarios here that I will talk about. So what I said as well in Discord in the update section, which is the elite membership stuff, I said Elliott Waves gives us an idea of where we are in the market. In my opinion, the probabilities are highest. We are working on wave 4s and wave 5s, not the multi 1-2. Right, the multi 1-2 over here is not my highest probability scenario. Not a leading diagonal. It's not the highest probability scenario. The 4-5s for me is the highest probability scenario. Now, once you move into wave 4s and wave 5s, from an investment point of view, that is your selling area. That's your buying area. Those are your 1-2s. I'll cover this in detail when I go through the scenarios. As per my previous weekly analysis, which was a couple of days ago, looking for one more, wave 4 and wave 5 makes sense. We need a corrective move to the downside here. And as long as there is no bigger impulse to the downside, starting with a multi 1-2 here, we can keep an eye on zigzag family structures locally. I'll cover all of this in a second with the price action and or the scenarios on the chart. Just want to read this. because the good bit is coming. So then I talk about the scenarios. Trade safe. Oh yeah, here it is. So trade safe, manage things well. Don't forget to take profit and pay yourself. That is a general tip and not related to any scenario. Don't act on others being mega bullish or mega fearful. Don't look for confirmation online, as it is generally the biggest shit show, with moon boys calling 5 million per Bitcoin and mega bears are calling for 10k per Bitcoin. If price goes up for another 5, very nice. If not, also very nice, if you manage things well. Okay, that being said, let's cover our stuff. So I won't go into detail into what you see here, because I made a whole 30-minute video on what you're actually looking at. But basically, your bullish scenario, the highest probability bullish scenario in the market, is the one that you see here, in my opinion. And I'll explain why as well, compared with maybe some other stuff that you see online. So what you're looking at here is a very typical impulse to the upside. You have overlapping wave 1 and wave 2s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, double zigzag in wave 2, 5 wave impulse in a 1, corrective 2, another 1, another 2. I realize on some charts, the low here was taken, this one, with a scam wick. Those are completely irrelevant, and on my chart there is no scam wick, and this chart to me is the best chart to count with regards to the wicks and the candles. Now after the multi 1-2, we then get our 3 to the upside, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, ending diagonal in that case in your wave 3 here. Ending diagonal, mind you, not leading. And then looking for another 4 and another 5. Now this wave 4 can easily take a little bit of time, that is no problem. You can see I have 2 important levels here on my chart as well, 105 and 96. So that's an area of interest. Interesting to see what price does if it gets there, yes or no. And then you're looking for another wave 5 towards the upside. The target area for your wave 4 in general is the whole area of the wave 4 of a lower degree, which is basically this high at 109.7 to the 74k low. Now preferably you're not going to get there, right? If you do take out this low, okay, we're probably going to be looking for lower prices. But just to show you what the target area for a wave 4 could be. Now, after a wave 4, we would like to see another move towards the upside in a wave of 5. And that should be a 5-wave impulsive structure. And the common target area is here between 130 and 171. Now, if you've seen my previous video, you know that there's actually 2 main target areas, 125 to 145 and 100 and, out of my head, 170 to 220, I believe. Those are the main targets. Extended targets have lower probabilities. So that is basically your bullish scenario. I won't go into the whole calculation stuff with the previous bull markets. You can find that in the video that I uploaded on my channel 2 days ago. Now, with regards to time, if we look at the current wave 4, preferably this wave 4 ends somewhere between this week and the 20th of October if we're looking for another wave 4. Now, why, in my opinion? Because in the end, you know, I'm an Elliott Wave analyst, I'm an Elliott Wave trader, investor, whatever you like to call it. So why, in my opinion, which is, and oh yeah, this was the point I wanted to make. In the end, it is an opinion. I'm just a guy that's analyzing the market with a certain expertise, which luckily is helpful and valuable to many. But why am I looking for this? While also online, I am aware, you also see people counting this as 1, 2, 1, 2, continuation up. You also have people counting this as a leading diagonal, 1, 2, continuation up in a wave 3. Why are those not the highest probability according to Elliott waves? Because in the end, we use the theory. Everyone has the same theory in a way. Everyone uses the rules and the guidelines of Elliott waves, and if studied well enough, they should know the probabilities as well. First of all, if we count this as a leading diagonal, this is another one, and you look for a 2, it's the lowest probability Elliott wave scenario that you can have on the chart in this section. If you read the book, you'll notice that a leading diagonal was actually found after the ending diagonal was already known. A leading diagonal is less common, has lower probabilities than a multi-1-2. That is written in the book. An ending diagonal has higher probabilities than a leading diagonal. And as you'll read the book, which is Elliott Wave Principle, by the way, you'll know that that is true. So by all means, when you look at this structure, the leading diagonal scenario, which you might see here and there, I don't know. I just got aware of it because of Discord notifying me. So if there's a leading diagonal, someone counting a leading diagonal, it is the lowest probability Elliott Wave scenario on the chart. The lowest, as per the theory. It's not invalidated because the invalidation is the low at 74. But according to probabilities and the theory of Elliott waves, it's the lowest probabilities. A multi-1-2 has higher probabilities, ending diagonal, higher probabilities. There's no other way. It's written in the book. It's written in the book. So, why does the multi-1-2, for me, has lower probabilities than looking for a wave 4 and a wave 5? So the multi-1-2, and let me try and find it here. So I think, oh yeah, here it is. So the multi-1-2, maybe we're live again, and every video and live stream the moon gets bigger. So here we go. It's a bit bigger again. So the multi-1-2, also known of course as the extended, very extended wave 5 scenario, made it so big. There we go. Has lower probabilities for the following reason. Preferably, you see a multi-1-2 at the beginning of an impulsive structure to the upside, not that late. Of course, an extended wave 5 being a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a large wave 5, where wave 5 is going to be the longest, strongest, most extended wave, is a possibility. This scenario, as you can see, is not invalidated. Price did not move below 98K. But it is and remains difficult to give it the highest amount of probabilities because, again, preferably you see 1-2s at the beginning of a bull market, not this late. And if we want to count a couple of 1-2s here, we could run into a couple of potential problems. Let me explain. So if we put a wave 1 there, wave 2 there, so if this would be your count, I'm going to run through a few scenarios here because I just want to drive the point home, I suppose. So if we have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're looking for the most amazing 5 in your life, then you're going to be looking for a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and a 3 towards the upside. Now this, first of all, is a very big structure, both in time and in price. If this is a multi-1-2 of an extended 5, you're looking for a very big move to the upside. These 1-2s come quite late in the bull market, right? If we think about the bull market cycle in general, then generally you end or should end somewhere at the end of this year. If you think about it, end of this year, early next year, timing-wise. From the start here of November 22, which was the 21st of November, we count year 1, year 2, year 3. If you are like a cycle analyst type of guy, then generally you're going to be looking to end the bull market somewhere at the end of 2025, early 2026. If this is your highest probability count, and then you have the people, of course, talking about super cycle and all that stuff, right? Don't mind me. If we get a super cycle, I'll be very happy, right? But probabilities. So if this is your highest probability scenario, you're not going to end at the end of this year. There is no way you're going to end 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, get a 3, and get all the 4 5s before the end of the year. Probably not in Q1, maybe not Q2 even next year. You might look more into like mid-2026, the end of 2026 to end the bull market. This would be your like super cycle type of scenario. Now that requires us as well to count an impulse in here, a single impulse being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, inside wave 1, we then have to count this as a 1, this is 2, that's your 3, this range is 4, and that like small little bit is your wave 5. Your wave 1 is the extended wave. An extended wave 1 impulse is the rarest impulse. There we go again. We go to probabilities. Most common impulse is an extended wave 3, then get your 4 and 5. On the second position, let me actually put a light on. I got a cloud passing by. So the second impulse, most common impulse, less common of course, is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and an extended 5. Preferably your wave 3 is about the same size as 1. Most important, wave 3 is not allowed to be the shortest wave, so it has to be longer than 1. And the lowest probability impulse is an extended wave 1, then 2, 3, 4, and 5. The fact that this then has to be counted as an extended wave 1 lowers the probabilities for the scenario that I have here on my chart. Okay, Koen, I get what you mean. So what if we do this? And what if we do this? Okay. Which then means we have to count a double 1, 2. So, okay, Koen, what if I then do this here? I do this, tada. Like I can count a double 1, 2 if I would do this. So then you have still the same 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Problem? Wave 1 is the same. So we want to avoid that. Okay, so we take the 1 down, take the 2 down, which then means you get another wave 1 here. Now, I'm covering this in a lot of detail, but hopefully people will be able to follow it. So now you have a second wave 2, which is significantly longer in time and price compared to this one, which is not great. It lowers the probabilities, which therefore, due to this, probabilities of having this here are low. Okay, I get where you're coming from, Koen. So we're going to do the following. That's your 1. That's your 2. Let me put this on the chart here. Then this has to be your 3. This has to be your... no, wait. So the only potential multi-1, 2 would be this. Which still requires us to have a multi-1, 2 here. A double 1, 2 in validation is 98K. Now, a triple 1, 2 here absolutely makes sense. That's actually my preferred scenario, counting a triple 1, 2. Then we have a 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. This wave 4, however, is shorter than the 0.382 FIB time compared to 2, which basically means this wave 4 is about 1/3 of wave 2 in time, which is not very common because usually your wave 4 is actually longer than your wave 2s, and if not longer, then preferably it ends after the 382 FIB time, so it's actually longer than 1/3 of wave 2 in time, which is not the case here, so that lowers the probabilities. No, it's all probabilities. And then again, of course, you still have a multi-1, 2 very late in the cycle. As long as this is not invalidated, this is my alternative scenario. So I continue to keep an eye on the multi-1, 2 because it is not invalidated. But as you'll understand, it's just difficult to give it the highest amount of probabilities time-wise, right? Wave 4 here, compared to a simple impulse, classic impulse like this one. Start with the 1, 2s, end with the 4, 5s. To give a little bit more arguments to that, like to what I'm explaining, what you see here is Elliott Wave simplified. This is a methodology that I invented a while ago, which makes Elliott Waves very simple, actually. You don't need to count. You don't need to put anything on your chart. You only have to look at the structure. And you're using Elliott Wave knowledge to do what I will explain here, even though you might not know about Elliott Waves. It's really, really simple. So basically, an impulse is structured traditionally starts with a bit of a multi-1, 2. Right? Of course, you have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but your wave 3 internally will be a 5-wave impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this wave 3 internally will be a 5-wave impulse. So basically, you keep stacking a couple of 1, 2s before you then get the move. So you start with a few 1, 2s, which generally provides you with an overlapping bit of a grinding structure to the upside. Then you get your wave 3 to the upside, and the wave 3 to the upside here creates a gap. You move out of this area, you move up, and you do not come back. After the wave 3, you create your wave 4s and wave 5s. These preferably overlap again. So you create a larger range, move up, range, move up, right? Range, move up. This is a very classic impulsive structure. 1, 2s, 3, wave 4s and 5s. Now the fact that we have the gap here increases the probabilities that these are your wave 4s and wave 5s, and there's the potential for another 4 and another 5 to end the bull market and then go down, which is aligned with the count that I show here. But not only this bull market, this happened. It also happened in the previous bull market. And I can include this as an additional 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. But just looking at your wave 3 internally, you have your 1, 2s, wave 3, your 4, 5s, and the gap. 2017, same thing. You have your 1, 2s where every range had overlap with the next one. So due to the overlap, you're counting 1, 2s here. You get your wave 3 to the upside, creates the gap, and then you move into your wave 4s and 5s. Of course, your wave 4s and 5s still lead to significant upside. We notice that in this bull market as well. Your first wave 4 here, right? 49K low, 4, 5, 4, 5. You're still moving from 49K to the current all-time high at 120. But it's still 4 5s. We're not really looking at 1 2s. It also makes you wonder, I wasn't yet there in 2017, but it does make you wonder how many people were counting this as a multi 1 2. I don't know. Oops, sorry. I moved my screen. I'm actually looking at chat because chat is not chatting. So I'm wondering if my internet is still working. Please let me know. But you start to wonder, if you look back, how many people maybe here were talking about, yo, this is another multi 1 2. Okay, we're good. Okay, cool. Thanks, Arping. Everyone is listening so attentively that they get quiet in chat. 200 people here, no one chatting. I'm like, yo, are we good? Okay, very nice. Yeah. So when we look at the previous, thanks guys. When we look at the previous bull markets, were people counting 1 2s here? I have no idea. I wasn't yet involved. I did not go back to Elliott Wave content of 2017. People over here, I was involved over here relatively later in the cycle, but this is where I got involved. And I know that especially from more like the Moonboy type of stuff, people were already talking about 200K and 500K and whatnot. And then we find ourselves at 30K, 69K, and then back at like 15K. So, you know. And now we're here. So I guess that when we look at this structure from 15K to the current all-time high, it makes the most sense to consider the fact that we've had our 1 2s, we had our wave 3, and we are working on 4 5s. Now, if we do get another wave 5, this wave 5 can extend. Yes, this move can become an extended wave 5, but it's still a wave 5. This is then the end of your bull market. So it's not like the multi 1 2 and then you go up. You get a 4 and then you go up for the 5. It's the final leg up in that case. So we remove this from the chart. We toggle on the scenario. So this scenario on my chart is related to what I just explained. You have your 1 2s, you have your 3, and then you get your wave 4s and your wave 5s. Preferably, I'd like to see another 4 and another 5 just because of time, but let me get to this. So earlier today, and that's the reason, of course, I'm live, is I got questions about, is the top in, what to do, price is moving down. Of course, according to the probabilities, price took out the recent low, so that's very nice. Now, I would personally like to see another wave 4 and another wave 5, but because I got asked by not one, two people, but a couple of people about, if there is a bearish scenario on the weekly time frame, like, how would you do it? Right? So I was like, okay, I shared some bearish scenarios quite recently, but I didn't really put a lot of time in the bearish scenarios. I already had them in my folder, so I was like, whatever. But I had a look, and I like to explain 2 bearish scenarios that look better than the ones I recently presented. And I'll explain why the probabilities for those scenarios at the moment remain a little bit lower than looking for another 4 and another 5, which remains my preferred scenario. So first of all, we follow the same thing, right? So we have our 1-2s, wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. So this little thing here is your final wave 5. Now, from a time perspective, this wave 4 was about 2 1/3 the size of this wave 2, which is perfectly fine. This wave 4 was the same size, around the same size as 2, that's fine. This wave 4 about twice the size of this wave 2, that's fine. So from a time perspective, this can work. However, why is it not my preferred scenario at this moment? It has to do with this range. Because if we are counting this move up as a wave 5, we need to count a 5-wave structure to the upside. A 5-wave structure being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This wave 4 is very deep. If I take a Fibonacci from the low of your wave 2 to the high of your wave 3, and I toggle on the 0.618, then on a logarithmic chart, you can see that it did not touch it. Now, why is this relevant? Because the 1.618 pretty much serves as an invalidation for wave 4. When I was having dinner with Robert Prechter, and he is like one of the OGs of Elliott Waves. When I had dinner with Robert earlier this year in March, we were talking about the 618 as well. And we were chatting about Elliott Waves and all of the good stuff. And I asked him the question as well about, did you ever see a wave 4 go to a 618 with high probabilities? And he declined. Like there's just no high probability wave 4. Of course, for diagonals, it's fine. But for an impulse, you don't like to see it. Not according to my personal opinion, not according to Robert Prechter's opinion. Now, we did not touch the 618 on the log chart. We did on the linear chart. And the fact that you touch the 618 on the linear chart when I turn log off here, right? You can see the button next to my webcam. When you see this, you're like, I'm not really feeling the wave 4 here. It's not really something we can like give the highest probabilities. But if that wave 4 locally doesn't work, or at least doesn't have the highest probabilities, then it means that this wave 5 doesn't really work nicely. And if this wave 5 doesn't work nicely, then all of this is basically not relevant. So we go to the second scenario. Problem solved. In this case, your wave 5 is an ending diagonal. Now, after an ending diagonal, you expect a very, very violent move to the downside. Ending diagonals, very clear sign of exhaustion in that case, and you're looking for very sharp reversals. Minimum target is 74K, but you expect lower prices. So in this scenario, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, it's the same thing. However, now your first wave 4 is this range, and then you get your other 4s and 5s, ending diagonal in 5, that's the end. If I had to pick one bearish scenario out of the 2, it would be this one. So that gives you this as my alternative, like, bearish scenario. It's the highest probability bearish scenario between the 2. And then we have the bullish option. So in this particular case, you have your wave 4 here again, which I explained earlier when I was talking about the multi-1-2 stuff. So now this wave 4 is matching against this wave 2. This wave 4 is short in time. Time is not an invalidation, nor is it a confirmation, but it does help with estimating probabilities. So on a daily time frame, you can see, let me toggle on the trend line here. I pulled it from the high of 1 to the low of 2 to this high, just in case I was like, because it's quite clear if I pull it to the ETF high here, this wave 4 is shorter than the 382. So I was like, you know what, just for the sake of checking, what if this is a flat A, B, C, W, X, and this is a Y for the fun and the giggles? Because personally, I'd probably count some sort of a W, X, Y, or ABC here. But anyway, your wave 4 still ends before the 0.382, which is not that great. Preferably, there we go, preferably a wave 4 ends after the 382, but it's not an invalidation. Because time is never an invalidation. It helps with probabilities. But it's not too nice, as preferably a wave 4 is longer than wave 2. However, this one is very short, and if you look here, you can see that this wave 4 is actually very long. This wave 4 here is 5 times the size compared to your wave 2, which is still inside the boundaries, because the 6 fib time would be like my absolute max. But the moment you reach a 5 fib time, it starts to be, it starts to definitely impact probability. So you have a very short wave 4 here, and you have quite a long wave 4 here compared to their respective wave 2s. While in the more bullish scenario, if we compare time here, wait, I didn't put time here on my chart, so we put time quickly on the chart. So this one is about twice the size, which is fine. Then we have the next one over here, which is about 1 dot whatever the size. Let's check here. 1.382, that's fine. And then we have the current wave 4. Wait 1 second, I have that one in my folders. There we go. So from a time perspective, if this is your 3, your wave 4 here compared to this wave 2, perfect. Around a 2 fib time, 2-3 fib time, that's fine. This wave 4 in time compared to this wave 2, about a 1-to-1. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. And then we have the current one over here. And the fibs that I have here on my chart, oh, let me pull them. I actually thought they were behind here, but apparently not. So let me do this. And there, all-time high. Let me remove these vertical lines. Now I actually have to check again where did I get the lines from? Anyway, let me just do this. Let me do this on a daily time frame. Quick intermezzo here. If you need a drink, just quickly go to the kitchen while I solve this little issue here. So I do like to count a WXY to the downside here for the wave 2. So we do this, now we do that, do this. There we go, and there we go. And we do this. What are we going to do? Put it on a 6 fib time. Let's just use the maximum. I mean, that's a little bit long. 3 between, like, let's say between 1 and 4. Okay, 1 and 4. That's perfect. Okay, very nice. There we go. Sorry. So we back. So let me put a vertical line here and now a vertical line here. So we also have the date. So preferably, right, as we know, preferably a wave 4 is longer in time than wave 2. So it would be nice if it finishes at least after the week of the 25th of August, or at least like either like this week. We are in this week. So preferably wave 4 finishes between this week and the 6th of October compared to wave 2. And you just saw me do it and how I do it as well. So your target for your wave 4, in other words, is between now and basically the start of October. That would be ideal for your wave 4 if you're looking for another 4 and another 5 towards the upside. So this scenario works better from a time perspective. We don't have a very short wave 2. Let me actually put things in a folder now. There we go. Put everything in. Here we have a short wave 4, shorter than the 382, and a long one that is 5 times longer. But in the bullish scenario, we have wave 4s that work perfectly well from a time perspective. Time is not an invalidation, but we do use it to assess the probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view. And even though out of the 2 bearish scenarios shown, this would be preferred because you miss out on that 618 touch, it's difficult to give it higher probabilities than the bullish scenario with still more like higher prices to come because of wave 4 being short, wave 4 being very long compared to their respective wave 2s. And in the bullish scenario, the wave 4s work well in time. Does the Oracle, what? This guy, what a legend. I will ask in a second. So the Oracle is my wife, by the way. So this is the analysis on the weekly time frame. And I hope that the people, I already saw a few names, but I hope that the ones that ask me about prices moving down, like a bit of panic, what do I need to do? And all that, like I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that is that has an expertise in Elliott waves, and I enjoy sharing my story and my stuff with you all online, and hopefully it's helpful. But according to the arguments presented in this video, in the analysis that I've just shown you on a weekly time frame, at the moment, it makes more sense to look for a 4 and still another 5, with the bearish scenario, this one here, being the alternative scenario. The multi-1-2, the very bullish scenario, is also an alternative scenario, not the preferred scenario, as explained in the video or in the stream. So I also answered the questions that I received as price was moving down on, if you would end this current bull market, how would you do it? Well, I've shown that in the video, and I spoke about it. So, and I explained why the probabilities for me are not higher to end it where it is now compared to seeing one more high. From a investing trading point of view, and I'm absolutely by no means legally a financial advisor. No, you got to go like we're on YouTube, guys. We're not in we're not in like some financial advisory business here. So when you look or trade Elliott waves or invest using Elliott waves, let me use simplified for this because it's easiest to explain. This is your area to invest. This is your area to sell, very simplistically. Now, the more 1-2s you have and can identify, the more wave 4s and wave 5s. So once price moves towards the upside and creates the gap, you're at least looking, because this is at least one wave 1 and 2. So you're at least looking for one wave 4 and one wave 5. So selling here doesn't make any sense. Then you get the next move up. This is the moment, once you take out the high, you got to be like, well, we might be working on the final wave 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a wave 5. So by all means, if someone sold here from an Elliott wave point of view, that's perfect. That's perfect. It's according to basically how you want to use Elliott waves in your trading. One waits, right? Because locally here, you have again a bunch of 1-2s, you get your 3 and then your 4, 5. So that is your selling area. And then you wait for a retracement. If the retracement is a higher probability corrective structure, well, look to add again, look for another move up because we expect the high to be taken. And that basically is how it then continues till eventually you don't make a high anymore and the bull market is finished and you go down. So therefore, I like to say in videos and live streams, take it range by range. So price is moving up, wait for the range to form. We always expected at least a 4 and then a 5 up. Cool, 5 is finished. Observe, wait for the range. Corrective, look for continuation. Wait for the range. Oops. This is also the way, by the way, how I like to trade my Elliott waves is wait for a range to form. Okay, higher probability is corrective. Cool, I look for continuation and for price to take out the high. Then we had the first little bit of ranging here, of course, before the current wick here. We had this range. And if you've been following the YouTube channel, you know that this was a higher probability corrective structure that we identified. So we were looking for price to make another all-time high. Price made another all-time high. We're currently retracing, and we keep an eye on the lower time frames to observe the higher probability Elliott Wave scenarios. And as long as there's not a significant impulse to the downside, which has to be a multi-1-2 locally, get a 3 down and a bunch of wave 4s, 5s, as long as we don't see this, I would prefer counting zigzag family structures. And then we wait for a range to form, just like we actually did yesterday as well. So if you've been following the last 3 updates, when price was falling here, the probabilities were higher to look for a bounce as per the update. When price was moving up, which was the update yesterday, probabilities were higher. This is corrective. Would have been nice to see another ABC to test the weekly naked point of control. We were looking for a move down in a potential B anyway, but then it went deeper and perfectly fine because a WXY by itself is a bearish structure, as afterwards you look for price to take the low. So we got a move towards the downside, very nice. And then this morning, of course, WXY pretty much confirmed. Look for price to take out the low. It took the low. And now we just wait for a new range again. So price moved down, wait for the range. Price moved down, we waited for ranges. And if you, so I'll go back a little bit in history, but you got to check the content. So if you go to Monday, the 18th, you'll see a video where I explain why the probabilities were higher. This is corrective. We were looking for a move to the downside. Once price then moved down, I said, okay, bulls need to take out 118K. Otherwise, we're looking for downside. Price moves down. Bulls need to take out at least 117K. If not, we look for more downside. Price moved down. Now, once price was here, close to support, I said, well, now we are able to finish a structure to the downside here. ABC or an impulsive structure. Probabilities are higher to look for a bounce to the upside. We could literally just look at the thumbnails as well. So if we look at the thumbnails, I don't know exactly, but basically here at the thumbnails, yeah, here you go. So this is the 118 one. This is a high time frame one. 117, look for support and a move to the upside. We got that bounce to the upside. Cool. Look for price to move down, etc. Like this, the thumbnails basically tell the story as well. Now, this being a flat with the potential, of course, of a larger WXY, but the fact this was higher probability ABC flat means that in general, you're looking for at least a continuation of the range or a move to the downside. So as price keeps forming ranges, we observe the range, count the range. If corrective, we look for continuation. If impulsive, we look for a bigger bounce. And that is how you approach the chart locally. Now, the same thing is true then, of course, on the weekly time frame, but I've been talking about the weekly long enough, I guess. So, yeah, that is it. So, currently, highest probability scenario, looking for a larger corrective structure locally, and yeah, then we have the bearish scenario, which is an alternative scenario, and this would be then my pick. And the multi-1-2 is also alternative, not preferred. Leading diagonal scenarios, useless. So there we go. Let me drink my tea. The second is longer than the first. No, that's not a problem. Because it's not by the degree, right? If this is a 1-2 and this is another 1-2, this is, well, what is it, like 10 times longer? Let me check. 7 times longer? About 9 times longer. And that is not great, right? But if you compare this wave 2, did they implement this recently, by the way? The arrows here, I can't remember this was like a thing, but I love it. This one here is about like 3 to like 4 times longer, which is fine. You just don't want to pass the 6. The 6 is like, that's where the issue is. So yeah, and I don't like an extended wave 1 because of probabilities, general probabilities from an Elliott wave point of view. So yeah, I actually don't know what T it is, to be honest. My wife like through the house like, yo, Koen, do you want tea? I was like, yeah, sure. I'd like some tea. I'm going live, so it's good to keep my throat ... before clips are being made. Okay, let me put the chat in. Okay, so there's been a little bit of a chatting. If there are any like questions, I would recommend you, I would recommend to write it again. So if there's something here and you'd like me to like answer it, just copy it and then put it down here. With regards to XRP, I didn't show this bearish scenario, but the bearish scenario is that this is a 5-wave impulsive structure to the downside. And you're looking at, for the bulls, you're looking at an ABC. If that's the case, A, B, and then you get a C down. And the bears look for 1, 2, 3. However, it requires you to take out this low, which at the moment has not yet happened. But yeah, we can't deny, like, at least there's a 5-wave swing down followed by a 3 up. This then has to be, I don't know, some sort of a diagonal if we want to count it bearish, but that would lead to a multi-1-2. So on XRP, as long as you don't take out this low, you're like continue sideways. But yeah, so far every move up has been bearish on XRP. So not really too interested yet on XRP. And this move down, like a WXY makes sense because it's ABC. That's your W. You get your X, and then you get ABC in a Y. Counting this move, that's the main thing I think people struggle with, is counting this as an impulse because of the overlap that you have here. So this has to be wave 2 price action. This is wave 4 price action. Wave 2 and 4 can overlap in an impulse. So you would count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 2 and 4 overlap, but wave 1 and 4 don't. But it's a strong guideline in Elliott waves to not see overlap between a wave 2 and a wave 4. So that makes it tricky to count an impulse down here. And if you count this range and you end it here, then this is a 3 wave, not a 5. So therefore a WXY makes sense for the bulls, but after a WXY double zigzag, you don't want to take the low. You want to move at least to the 0.9 Fibonacci before taking out the low. Take out the low, it's something else. And if it's something else, then you have to count this move down as an impulse because you're either going to move into ABCs or you're going to move into a 5-wave structure on XRP. And those are then your more bearish scenarios. So because you're going to take out the low in that case. So this, of course, here, this is very, very messy. This move down definitely looks higher probability corrective, but can we get a diagonal in here? If it's a diagonal, it's an expanding diagonal. 5 is longer than 3, so expanding diagonal, that would then be your 1. That has to be your 2. But an expanding, look at the overlap. Yeah. ABC, correction. But yeah. After a WXY, you're either looking for a flat or you're looking for a diagonal to the upside, but nothing else. It's not a wave A of a triangle. WXY cannot be part of a larger W, as confirmed by Robert Prechter as well, by the way. So, yeah. Plop. Oh, smakelijk, Tim. Ethereum, I recently put a video out on Ethereum, which I recommend because nothing changed on Ethereum at the moment. So it's this one here, 4 days ago, which was a high time frame count. So I definitely recommend checking that one. It is the higher time frame, but I focus more on It's basically the same as Bitcoin, actually, Ethereum, looking for another 4 and a 5, preferably. Do the 4 5s have to be the same count as they... no. 4 5s can be... And good question, by the way. But wave 1 and 2s also don't need to be the same. So your wave 1s are either impulsive or diagonals. But your first one can be an impulse. The second one can be a diagonal. It's possible. As long as you are able to count your 1s and your 2s. Now, the 2s don't need to be the same structure. But often, in a multi-1-2 setting, the different 2s of a lower degree fit in the same bracket. So if the first one is a zigzag, typically the second and the third are also zigzag family structures. Maybe it's a double, maybe it's a single. Triples are very rare. But oftentimes you see that in a multi-1-2 structure, you have similar wave 2s, which is not a requirement. It's just something that you tend to see. So down here, I like to count this as a WXY double zigzag. This here can also be counted as a WXY double zigzag or a single AB and then a wave C, some sort of a diagonal down here. I think I do like the WXY. And then here, WX, touch the 618, Y. So all zigzag family structures, in other words, which works nicely. Yo, all of the lines, eh? So yeah, good question. The wave 4s and the 5s can be completely different. Like the one wave 4 can be a triangle, the other one can be a flat, the other one can be a zigzag family structure as well. So or a WXY. What's up, Pac-Man? How you doing, man? Could you use channeling to analyze the structure? Which one, Oku? The current move down, you mean? Or let me know. Just write the answer down below. I'll get there. Prefer Mondica. What the top? Wait. In your preferred monthly count, what is the top pink line? Wait, preferred. Oh, I see what you mean. It is a range point of control at 105, which also is the monthly naked point of control. So it's here, 105. Let me just open my levels here. So 105, you can see it's on top of one another, but it's a monthly naked point of control and it's the range point of control at the same place. Yeah. Crypto made, I saw the comment deleted, but lol. But anyway, the wedge is correct. Yeah, it's you can definitely get a wedge shape in there from the low at the diagonal structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. But then, like I guess traditional terminology would be a wedge, while Elliott Wave analysts would call it diagonal. Too much positive news out there. Yeah, I don't really follow the news much, but generally, news is the worst at the end of the bear market or at the end of wave 2. News is always the best at the top of the market or the first suckers rally after you get the initial move down and the bounce back up and people think it continues, but it doesn't. So yeah, news is very opposite compared to market price action. There's actually, I think an article must be on the website of Elliott Wave International. I'm not sure, but in the book, they also write about the psychology of each wave and they connect the old charts with news events. It's hilarious. The worst case news is at the bottom of a bear market and the absolute best news is at the tippy top of a bull market. What's happening here? Okay, I see. Okay, perfect. Hide user from channel things. ICP. Yeah, so on ICP, I mentioned in a previous live stream that I am not a fan of a bullish structure here. I find it incredibly tricky to count any bullish structure locally, so I preferably take out these lows again, to be honest, on ICP. So I can't fit a great high probability diagonal in here, because if this is your diagonal, which would be expanding, then your 5 is shorter than your 3, which is not allowed. So that doesn't work. Now we can't get an impulse in here because of all the overlap, and we can't get a multi 1-2 in here because then where's your 1? I mean, your 1 has to be a diagonal, and you can't do 1-2. I mean, it doesn't make sense with the corrective structure you have then. So I don't know. It looks like a sideways corrective structure more so than it looks like a motive wave structure. And in the video on ICP, I mentioned that there is definitely a possibility to still take out these lows, with the range being a 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, look for a 5, one more low, and then move back up. I actually don't know the, let's see. So we just, yeah, okay. Monthly order block can still take out that candle. Do we have a value area low here? Oh, wait, we have a point of control here even. Oh, I got to put that one on my chart. That's interesting. Okay. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, I'll put it on the chart, yeah. Which is also at the low of the order block, so it can wick that candle. And then we have the value area low just below that. But let's first check the range point of control. So let's put that here. Confluences. Tuck. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing lower. It's very difficult to count this as a nice structure. If you would count a truncated 5, where this is wave 4 price action, this is your move down, and that's your wave 5, cool, you might want to consider an impulse up, but truncations are very rare. And I don't know, this structure, I mean, it's incredibly messy. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to count this and try to force something in here for the bulls. Because expanding diagonal, as mentioned, doesn't work. Multi 1-2 would need to be 1-2, 1-2, 3 up. But that means that all of this is a wave 2, which is very big. Plus, I think you touched the 1.618. Just checking. Yes, you did, which lowest probabilities as well. I don't know. It's not great. So even if price would move up, I'm thinking about a corrective structure till the moment you actually start flying and then create 4 5s later. In that video, I also explained the safest approach, being that you, of course, wait for a 5-wave rep, preferably touch the 886, then get a retracement down. That's the best, safest, I suppose, buying opportunity. But yeah, I mean, that is the thoughts on ICP. There's a lot of potential in ICP. I mean, the move up from the all-time low definitely counts best as a 5-wave structure with then a 3-wave retracement. But the current range there is difficult to counter really bullish. Why you don't analyze it since it's BTC vs USD? Yeah, so I always like the BTCUSD charts, actually. But I don't analyze DXY because I don't need it. So with Elliott Waves, you can analyze every chart separately from one another. You don't need to use multiple charts in order to figure out your highest probability count. It can help, right? So some people love to use multiple charts and align them with one another to look at probabilities. But I personally, if I only use Bitcoin and no other chart, then I can trade and do everything with Bitcoin. And I'm not really involved too much with DXY or neither really stocks and those type of things. I don't know. I never really look at it, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't need it. I guess that's the answer. I just don't really, I don't need it. You can just focus on one chart, and if you do analysis on one chart, then you'll be able to figure it out. And if you don't, you can use other charts. So there are people I know that use multiple charts, but you don't need to do that. Yeah. Emre, the alternative of 1-2s is always corrective zigzag family structures. So you're going to move into ABC, WXY, or WXYXZ. In that case, WXYXZ is extremely rare, so you would look for WXYs. And I think on Solana, I also covered a bearish scenario, which should be the WXY scenario in my Solana video. I also think in the thumbnail, wait, the altcoin playlist, where's Sol? Solana, big volatility. Oh, it was Cardano with the important one. I think on Solana, what were we looking for? The high to be taken, no? Like another high to be taken as the move down was higher probability corrective. I don't recall 100% anymore. But yeah, let's have a look. Let me actually use, I think I might have two different Sol charts. Let me use this one here. So on Solana, of course, multiple 1-2s, that's your most bullish outcome. And what were the probabilities? At least take out the 206 high, which was, okay, so we took out that high. So the probabilities at least played out, which is nice. Bulls don't want to lose. Yeah, so I agree. Like you don't like having too many 1-2s. You might start to consider other options, but so far you haven't changed the structure. So you have like you hold the low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You hold the low again. This looks a bit three-wavy. That's interesting. Could be a flat. So the probabilities played out. We took out that high. I actually don't know. When did I upload that video? 2 weeks ago. Well, I mean, that's then somewhere in the 2 week, like that 1 week. I don't know exactly. 29th. So it must have been, we were still below this low. So I guess price was somewhere here when I uploaded that video. And we were looking for price to take out this high because that's my probability. So we clearly did not yet take out the highs. So we do not have overlap. There's definitely a potential of another 5 here. Corrective 3. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. There is the opportunity to keep counting 1-2s as long as structure holds. That's the most important thing. This can be counted as a 5. No overlap. You have a gap here. This one, though, 1, 2, 3. It's a shorter 4 and 5. There's a shorter 4 here. Or it's a flat ABC maybe. That could work. To get another 5 in here. So if you hold this low, okay, fine, that's good for the bulls. If you take out this low, though, you might have to consider flats. And that's still bullish. And then your bearish scenario is always going to be WXYs. Because then if you have 5, 3, 5, you got, okay, that's a W then. You get your wave X and you look for your wave Y. And after wave Y, you go down. Of course, after a wave W, you can always get a larger wave X, and then you move up for your wave Y. So that is your bearish option. So the counter to the 1-2s is always zigzag family structures. Yeah. Oh, someone actually asked me how OM is doing the other day. I thought it was a fun question. That's been a very long time. So what do we have going on here? Yeah, so we were looking for price to move down further anyway. This is my little Scrabble, I guess, daily time frame. Yeah, so still looking for at least a couple of 4-5s, typical impulsive structure. Right, you got your 1-2s, you got your 3 down. Look at least for multiple lows. And then you just got to wait for signs of strength. Where are my levels? We are at the weekly value area high at 14. Yeah, it is slowing down. So you have your 1-2s, you get your 3, you just wait for a couple of lows and 4-5s. And then once on the lower time frame, you get a 5-wave move up, 3-wave down, entry. That's the thing. I mean, the potential for the bounce would, of course, be quite big. So it's interesting to keep an eye on it, but it's not interesting just yet. But we're at least at a little bit of support, I suppose. Bitcoin has been here for a very long time. One minute time frame I rarely visit, but it makes you think. We've been live and price has not really gone anywhere in that time. So you go again, 1-2s, 3, 4-5s. I wouldn't be surprised if we soon see maybe a little bit of a of a bounce of some sort. Do we have support to the downside? Do we have support? Oh, we are at the daily. I see. So we are at a little bit of support. And then we have the range point of control just below us. Would be nice to tap it now. Would be nice, but we'll see. Oh, beautiful day. Beautiful day. Looking for the low to be taken. So as it's taken, happy days. No? Oku, the full count. So channels work best. I mean, so we're on log scale now. So I used to have channels. 1 second here. I don't have them anymore. So you have your 1-2s. And this trend line preferably is not going to be touched if you are bullish. This is then your base channel. So you have your 1-2s taken from the low to the latest wave 2. That wouldn't make sense. So you have your latest wave 2, your bunch of 1-2s. You move up and your 3 moves out of the channel. And then you have your wave 4s, they come back to the channel, which is perfectly fine, but you don't actually really like to touch the lower end of the channel, which is currently sitting at 79. So if you create another wave 4, preferably it finishes before you reach this lower trend line of the channel. Now we are on log scale, which is preferred on this particular time frame, because the move towards the upside that you're analyzing is a couple of 100%. So linear chart analysis or Elliott wave analysis on a linear chart doesn't actually make too much sense, really. Of course, your channel would be very low here. I mean, you're not gonna hit that and invalidate wave 4 only when you touch it, because it already will be invalidated. So your the log channel would make more sense in that case. So that is the base channel. Now, depending on a chart, channels on a log scale do work nicely. Occasionally, they don't. I mean, if you go to what's that, S&P 500 and stuff, I mean, things get a little bit tricky there because of how far that thing is just going on the monthly time frame. Let's say trend channel. If we just pick this one first. Okay, then we pick the next. So that one played that. And now you can see, because the channel angle is like, there's more of an angle. We still break the lower one, so still valid for a wave 4 here. Perfectly fine. But this one will have the biggest angle, but it is a tiny one. So preferably, if we look at a trend channel, where this is your highest degree 1 and 2, this would be 3. You look for a 4 and a 5. You preferably, again, log scale, right? So grain of salt. I prefer to keep an eye just on the local structures to the downside here. But if we use a base channel the way it's used, then preferably you like a range to form and touch the lower trend line here, at least, or break it. Now, currently, the trend line is sitting at 96.5, but if we go a few weeks in the future, it's going to be sitting at about 100K. Again, if we go a few weeks further in the future, like 100K would be about 22nd of September. Go a couple of weeks, right? So we have like the 6th of October. Preferably you don't end wave 4 after that. That would be 103.9. So in other words, if you want to touch the channel low, let's actually put the time thingy in on here. 1 second. So if you want to touch the channel low, then preferably, wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So the time target for your wave 4 with the horizontal levels that I have on my chart at 105 and 96 are perfectly aligned with the channel. So you have time here and time here. And when you look at the horizontal levels as well, there's a little bit of wiggle room here, like a small triangle, right, between the horizontal line and the vertical one and the channel. But I mean, it works very nicely. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's quite cool. So Makes sense. So in other words, this box here would be your preferred area, at least to touch the trend line. So between now and the 6th of October, you preferably retrace to 96.5, that would have been this week, to 6th of October week would be 103. So in other words, the longer price goes sideways, the less low, the less it has to retrace to touch the trend line for wave 4, because preferably wave 4 touches the trend line or breaks it, but at least touch. So that's pretty cool. So yeah. Wow, that actually works. That actually works very nice. Oh yeah, there you go. I mean, if we got 312s, should we have 345s? Yes, that's correct. Can the timing on the NPOC be later, like early November? If wave 4 finishes early November, it would be very long compared to the respective wave 2. So it lowers the probabilities for a 4. So preferably, you're not going to go sideways here till November. Or if you do, and you're still in this range in November, you're not in wave 4 anymore, but in a wave 1, 2, or a couple 1, 2s. Because in the bullish scenario, so here we are again. Wait, let me remove. So if we are looking for a wave 4, and you range, let me put only time here on the chart. So if we're looking for a wave 4, preferably wave 4 is not going to move beyond this 6th of October blue line. However, you can still be in this range after the 6th of October, because if you get a wave 4 of whatever structure, right? You get a 4 and you finish, you're not just going to do this. Instead, you might work on 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And this still continues, like the range continues, but you're actually not in wave 4 price action anymore. It's similar to what we had when the 49K low was made. So if we look at this as a range, then you have your wave 4 price action, but then you have your 1, 2 price action. And that price action was still about rough. Oh, wait, I turned the time thing off. Stats. Time range. 85 days. So you were still in that range for 85 days. Till eventually, like something like that, right? This is a rough. For 85 days till eventually you broke out of it. But you're not counting this as part of a larger wave 4 anymore. It's 1, 2 price action. So we'll be able to identify that, you know, if we're looking at a 4 and it turns out into a 4 zigzag family structure to begin with, and then the move towards the upside has to be 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3 for multi 1, 2. So 5 to the upside, 3 down, 5 up, 3 down, 5 up, 3 down. Continue market structure. Ooh. How often do you switch from log chart to linear? I only go to log chart if I analyze a very high time frame. So currently I'm on a daily, and if I analyze price action and price action moved over 100%, I prefer to use log. If it's below 100%, I generally use linear. That's like kind of like the hard cut that I use. So yeah, on a weekly time frame, log makes a lot more sense. But if I go to a 4-hour time frame and I analyze this structure here or this price action, I don't use log, because the move towards the upside is not past 100%. The move down is not past at least 30%. I want to see at least a 30% dip before I really start to use log as price is moving down. So yeah, just polish the hammer. And the WXY would be, so it has to be a wave A, because the WXY cannot be part of a larger W. So then it needs to be a flat Kanishimi. That would be an option, yes. WXY can be wave A of a flat, absolutely. SUI still holding the double 1, 2, as long as it holds it. Alternative is always going to be a WXY again. Cardano updates. I mean, Cardano, we recently did Cardano, or I mean, recently, it's a little while. Let's see, when was it? Cardano 2 weeks ago. I mean, a little while ago. But I mentioned in this video, of course, you have to move up the important zone. You expect the high to be taken. We can have a quick peek, but let's see, what were the probabilities? So this was also a couple of weeks ago. So I'm pretty sure in that video, the target was take out that high because we have a very clear 3-wave move down. So you're always going to be looking to take out this high. But then you get into that important zone as per the thumbnail here as well. So of course, I don't know exactly what I said, everything I said in that particular video. But one looks for price to take out the high. The bearish option here would be ABCs or WXY structures. The bulls, of course, want to hold the multi-1 too, yes. So 5 up, 3 down. You want to see another 3-wave down. Go to the 4-hour time frame for a second. I mean, zigzag family structure is or sideways. If you look for more sideways, W, X, Y. No overlap here. We can count this as another 5-wave up. It took out the high, so that was the target. Then it retraces. Volume is probably in the high. Yeah, of course, because you took out this high. So everyone starts buying when the high is taken. And now they're underwater. But if this would be a motive wave to the downside, it's tricky, right? 1, 2, you need a 3, 4, 5. It has to be some sort of a diagonal, but we know that diagonals initially don't have the highest probabilities compared to multi-1-2s or corrective structures. And in this case, counting a multi-1-2, well, we can't. It has to start with the diagonal. So then corrective structure would have higher probabilities, which means corrective structure. In a nutshell, this retracement would be higher probability corrective at the moment compared to it being motive. Well, I mean, because of the recent the update being 2 weeks old, I don't actually have new levels on my chart. So of course, this has all been traded through. What's this one? I mean, this one has been. I don't have anything new on my chart, so I need to make a new video on Cardano, and then we can talk about that structure. Price here might move to the range point of control on Bitcoin. So I do have the daily here, but I prefer volume levels over my time frame horizontal. So if it wants to touch something, then let it be the range point of control. But it's holding the daily at the moment quite nicely. It's very, very sideways as well. So I won't be surprised if there's going to be a bit of a bounce soon, because you then have your 1-2s here. Again, typical impulsive structure, your 1-2s, your 3, and you get your 4-5s, couple of lows, and eventually you move up. Yeah, interesting area to observe the reaction. Then again, the probabilities played out of this morning, so yeah. Very nice. Yo, Dewald. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing, man? How you doing? Are you riding the waves? Sir Dewald? What's up? Yo, Dewald, I think is I mean, he's one of the OGs in my, I suppose, my mind, like, community, because I think Dewald he's one of the best students I've had in the membership section, and he eventually started his own channel focused on Elliott Waves. You can check him out, and he mainly does live streams, I believe, right, every day, or most of the days at least. And when you listen to his live stream, you sometimes, if you close your eyes and you listen, you're like, wait, is this Koen talking? You open your eyes and you see Dewald's face on the webcam. Oh no, wait, it's Dewald. He has a very, very, I mean, he got trained I suppose. So my style and my style of talking is very reflected in the content. Hopefully you're good, man, Daywalt. How you doing? Riding the waves. Can you analyze ETH small time frame? So I won't go into like, I want to use this chart. I won't go into like detail. Okay, so what we can see is that we have overlap here. So counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here does not work nicely. So therefore, we have to preferably consider an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a C, which then again leads us to a double zigzag. Because of the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. No, we can't because it's the overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay, that would work. Let's see, 15 minutes. I mean, preferably, so you have a 4, 2. If that's the 2 and that's the respective 4, then you can't actually count another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because you have overlap, which is a struggle. So you would need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where this is wave 2, that's 4, that's 2, 4 overlap. Strong guideline that you don't want to see it. It's not an invalidation though. But yeah, the overlap here is not very nice, which makes you think about corrective structures first and impulsive structures second. One second here. I mean, this is 3-minute time frame. You know, what am I doing here? 2, 4. If this is 2 and that is 4, then you could get another 1, 2 in here. 1, 2, but this is very much a 3-waver. Bum, bum, boom. If this is a 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is that a higher high? I think so. Yes, it is. So you might look at a flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ABC. Could that be another 1, 2? 1, 2, 1, 2. Very low time frame stuff. The overlap is not making it. Just be. So this is the thing. There's and this is like from a trading point of view, because there is the potential of getting a 5-waver in here. You got to be aware and a lot more patient with looking for longs. You want a lot more proof. Now, I do realize that ETH also here had the highest amount of volume in this move down, which in an impulse would be your wave 3. The highest volume is not in the low, which would be nicer for a corrective structure. So at least you got to be aware of the potential of a 5-waver, but there might be like an ABC hidden in here. It's not a WXY because you took out the low. So you're either looking at ABC or you're looking at an impulse. But from a trading point of view, that makes it difficult to go long because there is the potential for an ABC or 1, 2, 3, which means that I want to be a lot more patient with price action, get a lot more information before I then later consider to eventually go long. Because if you get a larger ABC, I would love to see price eventually take out the high, get a retracement, and then look for price to move up, if this is a 5-wave, of course. Also on the higher time frame, the probabilities as per the video, oh, this is Elliott Wave simplified, where is it? Yeah, I would like to see a retracement. So I'm aware of preferably looking for a bit of a retracement, wave 4, right? Wave 4 of a lower degree, but whatever, like a couple of wave 4s and 5s. So I'm aware of the potential of a bit of a longer and maybe more deep retracement. So I want to be more careful with just randomly longing. And I don't see a great long opportunity on ETH at the moment with the information that we have there. Okay, so here we go. We get that little bounce. right? Elliott Wave simplified in a nutshell. My methodology can work on any time frame though. 1 minute, weekly, doesn't really matter. Oh, Floaty, how you doing? Mr. Australia, living in Austria, living in the mountains. Yeah, nice to see you pop in, man. Thanks for popping in and saying hi. Such an OG. Floaty is one of like the longest subs here on the channel and in Discord as well. So good to see you here. Hopefully you're doing good, eh? Thanks for popping in, man. I appreciate it. Where would Bitcoin bounce to the next leg up after finishes did like the... I always like to see my areas of support and resistance touched. And if I open all of my levels, then this one, of course, is taken. So support, if price would move towards the upside from here, then at the moment, this day is not yet finished. So we don't have yet a daily naked point of control here, which we will get if price is going to close down here. But at the moment, that would be the levels here to the upside. I don't have anything really going on here anymore. But that's only, of course, if you can actually get the move going. No? Yeah, I always look at my levels. Do you ever use pitchforks? I don't. Wait, once the bull market's over, where then likely lows Bitcoin get to start a new cycle? Happy Dutch Grand Prix weekend. Oh, what's up, Anoop? Thanks, man. Yeah, so the low, this is a bit more old school content where I covered this. So I don't like, wait, let me go to another chart. I will show, this is very, very old. This. Let's put this on. I haven't been on this chart for a little while. Probably got extended a bit higher. So I don't want to do the whole analysis in detail, but if this is your bullish scenario, being a multi 1-2 this is the fourth one we're working on already. So of course we have alternatives where we retrace and we count this differently. But if you're looking for another 1-2 here, then depending on how high price goes, you're looking for a retracement. And as you can see, the first bear market, 146, 382, 0.5. So there's like a little bit of a trend of going to one deeper fib every time. Now, I personally at the moment don't yet think we go to like 29. I'm not even sure if that's theoretically possible with the mining stuff, right? But nonetheless, at least like 382, 05, 70K, 52K is definitely an area to keep in mind. 100%. You also have structural support, right? Big range here. So yeah, I would keep an eye on that area. But of course, the fib is pulled from the low. Well, actually, this was estimation. So 176, 176, and this one to the lowest point. Yeah, so I took the biggest box. Okay, so if price would move above 176, then the fibs will move to the upside as well. As long as price is not moving above 176, I mean, this area is definitely relevant. So yeah, there you go. Do you know time calculations of Elliott waves? Yes, I use time all the time. In the book, they call it ratio analysis. They just look at the structure. I use fib times, which is something I taught myself because you can't actually learn it online. Like there's no resource except on my YouTube channel, because in the beginner's guide playlist, I do talk about time as well. But it's actually very difficult to get information about fib time. So that's why it's on my channel for people to learn. Where's the Vinud? Yeah, exactly. I was popping into his live stream recently. I actually wanted to send him a donation. I couldn't, mate, I swear, I couldn't find the donate button. He has 1,000 subs. I think it must be possible. But I'll try again next time I see him and figure out where that button is. I've never even sent a donation somewhere on YouTube, so... Yeah, I did Sol earlier. like 15 minutes ago. Yeah, I need to put timestamps in later, but I see a lot of coins. But 1 second, let me... Yeah, is this I don't understand the count for the last... Oh, this wave. Zigzag family structure. So, of course, a few things you can pay attention to. This is a fast move down. WX. You can get a WXY in here. All right, so you have your ABC correction, ABC, if you want to keep it simple. WXY after wave Y, you expect price to turn around. You have a quick move down, probably on high volume. Yeah, this is the highest volume. So if you don't get continuation to the downside here, because highest volume is common for wave 3. However, if price is going to move back up again, it's not what we want to see. So in other words, if price, so there's a couple of levels of safety, I suppose. If you touch the 886, then probabilities are high to take out this high. And if we're then looking for a flat ABC, you look for that high next. 886 touch, generally, you still expect a bit of a retracement before continuation instead of straight lines. But the 886 avoids probabilities for a multi-1-2 if you want to count some sort of a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 and down. If you touch the 886, very rare for wave 2s, probabilities increase that what's going on here is corrective. Another thing you can keep in mind is how long is this range going to be in time? So if this is a sharp move down, and you would label it most bearish case another one, if price is going to move, 1 second, to a 6 fib time, which is going to take a while, if it's going to range here and range and range and range, and then the 6 fib time is on the 30th of August. Wait, that's actually tomorrow morning. So if price would range here, right, till the 6th of August, probabilities are low, you're looking at another 1, 2, and down. That's only if this low holds. So if price ranges till the 6 fib time, probabilities are low, this is another one. Probabilities increase that whatever is going on here is not at least a multi-1-2. So in other words, you would expect a bounce to come because now you're looking at either a single impulse down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a bounce back up, or corrective structure, bounce back up. Right? So it's like a similar type of price action, I suppose, at least in the short term. The most interesting place to consider looking for longs is if you finish a 5-wave move and you get your 1-2s, you get your high volume 3, and then you end with 4-5. So actually on a 1 minute, I mean, that chance is all, I mean, a little bit passé maybe, but nonetheless, you have your 1-2s here, you get your 3, look at the curvature, right? Look at the curve. So it's interesting to at least look for a little bit of a bounce, and maybe you do move down to the range point of control, which is just below price. Maybe you don't, we're at the daily. But if you take a fib, generally a minimum retracement target is the 0.382 at 109. But of course, if you're looking for another 1-2, then sure, you know what I mean, it can just be another 1-2. Also, the weekend is approaching. The weekend generally is a ranging structure, not motive wave structures. You don't expect like big volatility during the weekend usually. At least probabilities would say the probabilities are lower for that to happen. It can always happen, but it's all probabilities. So, yes, Tress. Oh, by the way, Tress, answer is yes. Second, what's your Discord name? Because I think your account back in the day must have been so new that you automatically got rejected and put in the ban list. But I can unban you manually. Let me have a look. Let me go to the, where is it? There we go. Let me search for Tress. There we go. I can find Tress 110, no? Okay, try joining again. It should work. Like everyone is able to join as long as you're not a scammer, but I mean, the thing is that we have protection. If accounts are brand new, they can't join if they're younger than 24 hours because scammers tend to do that. Make new accounts all the time and then join and We could hit 100. Oh, I didn't actually pay attention to the likes. 98 likes. 98 likes. Thanks. 99. One more. Woo. There we go. Thank you, number 100 and the other 99. Appreciate it, guys. Cheers. Cheers, cheers. 100 likes. There we go. Appreciate the support, guys. Yo, Sam, how you doing? Yo, Flotty was here earlier. Your country mate. What's up, Sam? I think Sam is also one of the people with the yeah, 100%. One of the biggest improvements in their Elliott Wave count. Sam, like Sam joined. I don't know the exact join date, Sam, to be honest, but it's been a while already, and his Elliott Wave counts nowadays are incredible. So definitely one of the people in the community that has learned Elliott Waves very, very well. So Daywalt as well. He was a member in the community, in my community, like a member, and he learned Elliott Waves, and now he has his channel and does his thing, which is great to see. But Sam is amazing in counting as well. Yeah, cheers. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you're in the group as well and Sam is sharing his stuff, it's great to see. I love seeing it. Yeah. Very impressed. Love your videos. What's your most recent video? Could you go over this recent move? Are we in a flat wave C down? Our target towards 104. Are we in a lost C down? At the moment, it doesn't really look C-ish, to be honest. Where are we for our time frame? So if it's C, the highest amount of volume is in the latest move. So preferably that's your 3. And you still get 4, 5. So you need a 1, 2. Wait, sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Like this has to be the 3. The issue again is that the 3 is so short. So therefore, I'm definitely considering more like the flat structure in the WXY-ish like scenario here. It's typical Bitcoin. It's like, at least since the all-time high, it's very slow. It's very slow. Down, bit side, down, sideways, down, sideways again. Like there's no acceleration. So at the moment, it's a bit tricky to count this as a great wave C. It's not invalidated, but you need 4 5s to come in, because you can't count a single impulse here, really. You would need to have a wave 1, 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2, like at least a double 1, 2 in here. Then get the 3, highest amount of volume in your wave 3, and then get the 4s and the 5s. So at the moment, you can see also, I think there's overlap. Wait, yeah. Okay, so there is overlap. So there's overlap here. There's, of course, overlap here as well. So if you're looking at an impulse to the downside, you want to avoid the overlap here. Yeah. You want latest 1, latest 2, get your 3, get your 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Weekend is coming, generally ranging structures. It could work with 4, 5s if price would move up for a wave C and a flat structure instead. Then, continue this range here sideways, basically between 115 and 107. I mean, that's fine as well, but there he is, Mr. Flotty. Do you guys live far away from one another? Like, I mean, it's a big country, of course, but I know where Sam stays. I don't actually know where Flotty, what city or what area, north, east, west. You don't have to be specific here, but you could go for a cup of coffee. Yo, cheers, no joke. SUI, I don't know, I don't like. Droop. Five wave impulse to the upside. Yeah, I mean, on SUI, like I have an alarm set on 2.8998. I don't know. I would like price to retrace to 2.9 basically. Yeah. SUI, I gotta say, has been great, of course, since it almost like launched. We were looking for this being a double zigzag and price to move into all-time highs, get the 5-wave move towards the upside. This move down also very much counts like a corrective structure. Actually, don't know. Do I have a count here? That's your bearish. Okay, the bearish is an ABC. So that's your bearish scenario. And the bullish scenario is the 1-2. In both cases, you're looking for a retracement for wave 2s, preferably into this box between 320 and 264. In the bearish scenario, you're finished and you look for impulsive continuation and take out the low of A at 1.72. The bulls, I wouldn't mind going to at least 2.9 and then take it from there, see what structure we get. So on SUI, once more, there's at least a potential of a 5-wave count because you don't have overlap here between a potential 2 and 4. So it just makes you aware of, I got to be very patient here, because of the potential of looking for either a ABC or a 1, 2, 3. So longing requires a lot of patience, a lot more confirmation. If the probabilities were very, very clear, this is a 3-waver, very obvious. I mean, it's not very obvious, so you got to be more patient. If it is obvious, it becomes easier to long. But yeah, I wouldn't. We're also testing the gap now again. So here we have, of course, a bit of a gap. Touched the first time, testing it again. So I can imagine this gap is going to get filled. And then you basically get to the 2.9. And then we'll see. We'll see. Most important now is the local structure. Is it going to be corrective or impulsive? Well, it takes a little bit more time to figure that out. But in both cases, we were looking for a retracement anyway. So at least that is playing out. Oh, wait. Someone was saying something about virtuals. Let me actually check that out. Virtual. Wait, maybe do I have it in my list? I think so, yeah. Is it virtual? Virtual USD. Where's the Bornell, reply in a second. Where's the virtual? Oh, here. Is it the one I have here on my chart? I think it's not the first time, right? Virtuals. I mean, it must be this one, no? Did we analyze this? Not really. Okay. Okay. Quick peek. Won't take a long time here to figure this one out. I don't know. Okay, there's the potential for an impulse to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This counts like a pretty solid impulse though. 5-waver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So preferably, I don't have any levels and stuff. We are at support now, which is an order block. Always important. When you get very quick moves to the upside, keep an eye. And now, sometimes you have to go to lower time frames. But keep an eye on where you get that one red candle in the middle of the move up. It's interesting to be aware of those candles. 12-hour. Yes, okay, so next area would be 0.7 if you're going to lose this here. But yeah, this move to the upside counts nicely as an impulse, no? We have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 5, 4, 5. I mean, it just makes sense to count it as an impulsive structure. So we have a quick move towards the upside, followed by a very slow channeling move to the downside. Higher probabilities corrective, higher probabilities motive. Just by the looks, of course. I'm not analyzing things in great detail here, but if you can count a 5-wave move up, And the probabilities, not probably, yeah, I mean, not great. I mean, if this is a flat wave C, that's bearish. But then it has to be A, B, C. If that is an A, B, and C, then very, very close to the maximum time for a wave C. Almost ended beyond the 2. So, it got very close, which is not great. And your wave C is also very long, moving probably beyond, far beyond the rare or less common target, being the 2.618. Move to the 3. Whoa. Old color fibs, yo. Should actually update this. Where's my 3.618? I don't even have it. Okay, so the 3.618 was touched. Very extended for a wave C. So you preferably count an impulse. When you consider the probabilities, you preferably count it as an A or a 1 compared to a wave C. But if that's true, then you look at a corrective structure. Now, at the moment, this move to the downside here, right? Corrective structures tend to be around channel boundaries. So far, so good. I mean, move down, move sideways, move down, very 3-wavy. Longer sideways structure, potential for W, X, down. Maybe get a bigger sideways and another move down, get your wave Y. Go to monthly. Let me have a look at the levels. Now I go into a little bit of detail. Okay, there's no time frame horizontals here. Daily. Daily only starts at, this is your first daily, so that's very low. Volume. Okay. Value area high. Almost touched. Value area high is interesting to keep on the chart, but preferably this one. So this is like your bottom range, I suppose. So of course, usually I do all of this in the background, not on live streams, but at least you can see how I do my stuff. Okay. Now that is in confluence with the range here, which can function as an order block. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, I'd be keeping an eye on a WXY. It's quite similar, of course, to Bitcoin. Potential for, of course, a bit of a larger range, or maybe wave Y starts. Weekend is coming up, a bit of a ranging structure usually. But a zigzag family structure here does make sense. So. That's my thought about virtuals. You also moved into the order block here. Move up, boom, back into, wait, let me show you. Can I find it on the 2-day? Yeah. You get your quick move down, one candle up, quick move down, price retraces. You can't really see the order block here. It's more like daily. You can see the low of the green, the couple of green candles. They're quite neat. What's Bitcoin doing? Still finding support on the daily. Ooh, what time is it? I mean, we've been live for 2 hours, so I will cut it soon. So there you go, Curtis. There you go. SUI is so hyped, give it a year. Yeah, with any alt, to be honest, you don't want to ride the emotional trains. At the very beginning of the live stream, I mentioned Don't act on others being mega bullish or mega fearful. Don't look for confirmation online, as it's generally the biggest shit show, with moon boys calling 5 million per Bitcoin and mega bears calling 10k Bitcoin. Same is true for any alt. You know, you want to just have your plan, your strategy, your tools. You can look for information online, but it's very important to, if you look at information online, you need the level-headed people, not the extremes. You got to be around the median, not like the mega bulls and the mega bears, like someone that's in the middle. And also, in the end, you do need to have a plan yourself, preferably like something that is aligned to your style of trading, the tools you like to use. So, yeah. Checking, answer this. Oh, there we AMD. Time calculator. So time is explained if you go to my, where is it? Beginner's guide. Wow. I'm not sharp anymore. It's been a while. I'm standing for 2 hours. So in this playlist, you can find all the structures. And here you also learn about time. So I would first guide you to this guide, as every video has a FIP time timestamp where I explain the FIP times for the structure and how to pull it. So this is where you can find more information. Wow, 65,000 people have viewed videos in this. That's cool. All the videos together are then like, I guess, 65,000 people. That's a lot. Wow, I didn't expect it. People love to learn Elliott waves. It's good to see. Good to see. Could the move down from the low of 15k be counted as an ending? No. No. That would be very low probabilities. That whole move to the upside as an ending diagonal. Ending diagonals need to be 333, like you say. At the moment, it wouldn't have your highest probabilities. You preferably count an impulse at the moment, for sure. Yeah, it's fun to keep in mind, though. You would expect a significant retracement after in that case. So yeah, Bitcoin moving up, not bad. See if it can touch at least a 382 as explained. Remember, your 1-2s, your 3, your 4-5s, curvature, look for a bit of a bounce, minimum target 382. Keep things easy. That is Elliott Wave Simplified. That is what you learn in the first video in this playlist. It's a methodology that I invented to help people trade Elliott Waves without actually knowing Elliott Waves, like the detail. But at least you use the information. I can't make it more simple than that. So, very nice. Wait, so, I can have a quick look. AMD, someone request AMD. Wow. Okay, so I have no idea what I am. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, this is a long time ago. Okay, that makes sense. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, remove. Okay, makes sense. Structure to the upside definitely looks like a 3-way structure, not a 5, confirmed when price moved down. So then you get a 3, you get a 3. Doesn't look like a 5-way structure on this time frame, no? WX. Again, a bit of a very 3-wavy structure. So Question mark. This would be your Ethereum correction on AMD, basically. Sideways WXY with a zigzag in W, zigzag family structure in X, and then you get a flat structure in a wave Y. It's just the problem for the bulls is this move. I mean, we're on a weekly time frame. Don't really want to zoom in, but up, down, up. 1, 2, okay, overlap here, and then you move up, but you don't have like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Like this looks corrective more than anything. It's more like ABC correction or something, and ABC, like it's very, it looks three wavy. Of course, the bulls are looking for a 5, look for a 3, continuation. And then on the daily here, what a crazy chart. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Maybe your 5 is already in with the current high. Then you at least expect a bit of a retracement. Keep an eye on this previous range here around 136. Next area around 113, and then you're basically back at the starting range. So won't be surprised to see a bit of a retracement, but look, we don't go in like the greatest detail, but this looks up like this. Like, is this a 4? Bulls want this to be a 4. By all means, let's make it simple. By all means, you're looking for higher prices. I think that's what I just should say, because if this is a WXY, you still look for price to move up after. If this is an impulse correction continue, you still look for higher prices. If you're looking at a WX and a flat in Y, A, B, C, and a B, you would look for higher prices primarily first. If you look for a triangle, then a WX and then A, B, C, D, E, you go up as well. So the probabilities are higher for an impulsive structure. This move to the downside also quite clearly looks like a 3 wave, not a 5 wave, increasing probabilities to take out this high, which I guess is the all-time high. I mean, you know. So yeah, I guess that's the general directional bias on Bitcoin. Retracements are part of the game, but the general bias on a weekly time frame, so yes, it's high time frame, but on the weekly, the bias remains higher to still see that high taken. There you go. AMD. Wow. There we go. We're back. Legendario. Thanks for all your comments, Legendario. I always see them coming. On my phone, I have my notifications on. And every video, Legendario pops on my screen. That's great to see. Oh yeah, I mean, with the compendium, I should actually have given an update earlier in the live stream. I should probably write something about it, but I have found an editor, because version 1.0 of the compendium is finished. Yes. Finally, version 1.0 is finished. So now we get into the make it as professional as possible stage, which is hire an editor, which is going to happen because I found one. And I got the invoice today, but I haven't looked at it yet. Or not the invoice, the quote. And I believe I also got a connection now with a designer. I still have to check the message that she sent me, but I'm in touch with a designer. Jeroen can design incredibly well, but we just want to make sure that things are aligned with publishing a book for print as well, and make sure the right programs are used and all that stuff. So version 1.0 of the compendium is finished. I'm planning to launch it in November because it's before the end of the year. The holiday season is coming, and last year I got a lot of questions like, hey, you know, like, are you publishing it before Christmas? Because I can give myself a present and that stuff, and it would be nice for me as a present to everyone. 20K subscribers this year as well, and you know, to publish it before that period. So version 1 is finished. We are still adding like we're working on a free mini. It's not a mini compendium, but we're simultaneously we have the compendium, but we also work on like a couple of pages for free. Yeah, we don't actually give it a name yet, but it has like really like it has a lot of information, but of course it's not the compendium. But I can't give too much info, you know. It's still like so. Yeah, so we're developing something that's going to be for free, and it's cool. And then we have the compendium. Version 1 is finished. Editor, designer, they're coming. Publishing later this year, and we are still adding a few pages. Jeroen has been working on a few the last 2 days, and I still need to add one more page as well, which has to do with Robert Prechter. So I need to chat to him. I need to give him a call. But a bit lower when we are retesting the bull market support band. Okay, so there's some additional confluence there. Cheers, Hasham Max. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, Borna, good you repeat. So yeah, there's 2 memberships at the moment. 1 second, let me... What was the question that you sent again? The exact question. Website. Let me go to the website. I never really know, like, so anyway, there's 2. Let me just open Discord, easier. So there is 2 memberships. And here's like everything you see. So we're still end of August. So we are currently still in the launch offers and not the standard price. And then there's Elite and there is Entry. So in Entry, I basically give an overview of the previous week and what I'm looking for in the next week. It's more educational. It's more of a summary, weekly recap, crypto outlook, how structures have evolved and how our probabilities over the past week have changed and evolved with new price action coming in and that stuff. Breakdown of some of the levels and validations and educational insight. And what I'm looking at like the following week, which is the weekly recap. So that is this over here. So this is the weekly recap area. And this is then like stuff that I share at the end of the week, basically. So I share information. And then the other one is Elite. And Elite is a lot. So that's, of course, the biggest one. That's also where most of the people are in and are active. And Elite is all of this. So yeah, I mean, you can read it. So basically, I do real-time updates as we get information and things, this and that. I write stuff in the Bitcoin update section here, or when I have new ideas, or every morning I write a whole summary about the scenarios, the probabilities in here. So this is the Bitcoin update section. There's a lot going on here every day, basically. So I share a lot of stuff here. Altcoin updates as well. They're also in here. What else is written in the membership? So we have the Discord community. Yeah, so of course we have a lounge for people to chat. Feedback and Q&A channel if there's any questions. The trading talk channel. This one is a little bit silent. I probably have to share a bit more about what I'm looking for and that sort of stuff. But it takes time. So this is a brand new channel as well. There's a bit of activity, but yeah. So there's still stuff going on there. In-depth, yeah. So a lot of content as well in the create your strategy content. How to develop a strategy is an important part of Elite as well. A couple of playlists with additional content, additional information on Elliott Waves and many different things. And then there's a step-by-step guide to developing your strategy. So that's all here. And then we have a chatting channel as well. Sometimes people hang out here. So that is Elite for you. There you go. Unable to accept the invite. Okay. What is your login, Mr. Wong, so I can unban you because you've been automatically banned due to having a new account. It's just a scam protection that we have. Let me try your name. Let's see if something pops up. Wong, I guess. Wong Carvai, if that's the case, which is similar to your YouTube name, you should now be able to join if it's past 24 hours. So, yeah, so, I mean, you should be able to join if it's already been 24 hours now. Oh, there's so many pages of people. The thing is, there's also a lot of scammers that get automatically banned. Like, look here. Look. Koons Trading. Yeah, I mean, but I like we don't know who is banned and or who is real, who's not real, and so best is if people can't get in, they just write a message because it's scam protection in the end. And if you don't have this, scammers just keep making new accounts, keep joining your group and spamming, and we want to avoid that. So. Also, by the way, welcome to the channel, Wong. Very curious on your thoughts on CRV. Weekly. Oh, we do have some stuff going on here. So we touch resistance. We touch the 886. Okay, so that is important. Not on a linear chart. Wait, let me check. Oh, okay, yeah, we use log. So on the log chart, price did touch the 886, which does increase the probabilities to still take out this high at a later stage. That's bullish. However, that does not mean that price can retrace to lower levels. Very much a three-wave up here, by the way. You got to be aware of a double zigzag here. Eh? Off the low, up, down, up. You never really got a nice 4 and 5. So W, X, Y, that would be bearish. It would be bearish. Touch the point of control at 2.23 and then turn around. Got to be aware at least. 1, 2, 1, 2, 5, 4. Yeah, there is the potential of counting an impulse to the downside here, so you got to be aware of price going lower at a later stage. But at the moment, because you touched the 886 here, probabilities are higher to still look for higher at a later stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe ABC, maybe, but this has the potential of being an impulse for an ABC. But you did touch the 886, so in general, even if you do get the retracement, you would look for this high later. So you just got to be able to identify your areas of support and observe those areas, because the interest is looking for a move up and take out that high at the moment. Because you touch the 886, which is very rare for wave 2s. It's more common for a wave B or a wave X. And generally after touching the 886, you do expect a retracement to a golden pocket, which is quite common. So we're at least at the golden pocket. That's generally a nice, at least like target. Can of course go to an 05, 03. Now after an 886 touch, it is actually not common to retrace all the way down and take out that low. It happens, that would be your A, deep B, and C to the downside. Move into this range, not take out the low, hit the point of control of this range. I mean, that would be, that's quite low though, 0.26. Holy. Whew, that's a deep move. Bitcoin needs a deep retracement for that. But yeah, I mean, those are the thoughts here. Like preferably due to the touch here, probability is higher to take out that high. We're on a log chart, but yeah, observe the move to the downside here. Again, potential for another WXY-ish structure. I mean, this is a very three-wave move down. Longer range up. Either took out the high or almost did. So it then makes sense, like, okay, you know, like we get a W in here, we get a zigzag ABC. Your alternative is that this is wave 4, that's wave 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? WXY would be then WXAB, wave C to the downside. After wave C, you return back up. Bearish is that this is either an 1 or A, and then B, and then 1, 2, 3. You look for a wave C or 3 to the downside. Multi 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Eventually a bigger wave 3. So that would then be your A, B, C if that plays out. But yeah, general bias 886 touch take out the high is going to be the first thought. And due to this being very three-wavy looking, it's not a great bullish start, this structure. So one has to be aware of the potential of double zigzags if you move up, which is bearish. So yeah. Oh. Obelix, yeah. I mean, there's still a membership on YouTube, but it's just support for the people that like to have the green name and the logo in front. But it doesn't have like the value anymore. The reason is that YouTube takes a very big cut of the membership and like the money that is paid. And of course, like it doesn't make sense. On Memberful, we keep a lot more, which we then can reinvest in, for example, the editor that is coming and the designer for the compendium and the team and you know, etc. And it just doesn't, like YouTube doesn't make sense. So it's a lot better. And also from an administrative point of view, by the way, YouTube is horrible. It took us so much time to add people, remove people, check the membership list through YouTube. And I mean, we wasted a lot of time during the week. So Memberful is incredibly easy. We have an automated system. People become a member. They get like a button off, like they become a member. They get an email as well as in their profile. There's a Discord button and a Telegram link. The moment you click on the button, which you have to, you get automatically assigned to the role. And so it's automated, which is great. It's amazing. So it saves us so much time, which we then can put in the compendium and other projects that are coming. So yeah, it really helps. In person, I mean, recently we put a short online. Wait, let me go to my YouTube channel. Go to shorts. So yeah, here. So I sound is off. But if you haven't seen this, you can read the text. 1 second, I'll stop the video. My face has been deep faked. This is a deep fake video. This is not real. What you're looking at is not real. It's deep fake. It got to my attention because of someone in Telegram that there was a deep fake video of me circling around. So yeah, we made a short about it, and I made a whole post about it. It's already a little while ago, but the short only came out recently. But I mean, it's insane. It's insane. Deep fake. I am deep faked. Yeah, don't fall for that stuff, you know. Pac-Man, eh? Oh yeah, the Beijing bank lady. Someone joined in my Discord recently who was like CEO of some Hong Kong bank. Yeah. Yo, Fred, I analyzed the high time frames at the beginning of this live stream, so you might wanna check it out there. Yo, good luck, Adam. Good luck with work, man. Oh, Adam, yo, thanks for popping in. Sorry, man. Thanks for popping in, and good to see your name, man. I somehow, with like scrolling and checking mainly the gray names, I somehow missed your name. But yo, cheers. I hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good there in the Americas. Good luck with work. I'm gonna call it a day very soon because I'm actually getting very tired. Bonk. So what's going on here? Yeah, so also on Bonk, there is the potential of counting this as a 5, which makes it dangerous. Right, so there's definitely the potential of having some 5-wave structure. Now, this range is quite large compared to any range we have at the bottom. And we did not make... Did we make... Oh, wait. Did we make another low? I forgot. Yes, we did. Okay, so you can definitely count a 5-waver down here. Where this is 2, that's your 4. 2 is sideways and 4 is sharp. Sideways, flat structure in a 2, zigzag structure in a 4. Guideline of alternation. Now, because there is the potential of a 5-wave structure down, you got to be aware of move down, ABC, and down you go. That's your bearish scenario. Your bullish scenario is a multi-1-2. Don't want the low to be broken. 1-2, 1-2 down. So risky on Bonk. Risky. So basically on Bonk, you first of all you got to be very patient. So this was a great opportunity to long because you had a very clear 5 up. You got a corrective movement down with lots of overlap. That's absolutely fine. So that was the long on Bonk. This is a lot higher risk because there's the potential of a finished A, B, and you look for a C down. So you need to be more patient. One has to wait for this to become corrective. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe working on a 5 here. Right? Maybe a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Looking for supports lower. Makes sense, no? But then you get the bounce. If this is an impulse down, you're looking at a 1, you get a 2, 3, 4, 5, or A, B, and then a wave C. Maybe there's a W, X, and a Y going on here. But in other words, patience. You need to wait for price to show and get more info. And then if we, once we get the info, we know, okay, we're looking for up or we're looking for down. Is this motive or is this impulsive? At the moment, we can count this as a potential impulsive wave, which makes it dangerous to long. Got to be more patient. So it's not a great opportunity. Bonk is not a great opportunity at the moment from a trading point of view. At least from a long point of view. So far the trend is down there. So. Proof of Koons. Exactly. Okay, everyone. I'm going to call it a live stream. Yo. Ooh, answered many questions. We did a high time frame analysis as well. So there you go. Wow. Thanks everyone for popping in. My tea is cold by now. Still very nice. So thanks for being here. Thanks for joining the live stream. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. So in the live stream, we did a lot in those 2 hours. So we analyzed the weekly time frame again, which I can recommend. We checked a couple of alts, answered many questions. A lot has happened. So I'll probably only put like the timestamp in of the analysis and then chatting and Q&A and not all of the alts. I'll probably just make videos of the alts separately. So that would be a good idea, I guess. So shall we raid TradeFly? Yeah, wait. How do I do that again, man? I'm such a noob with that. So live. Also, YouTube does not make it easy to raid another channel. Not gonna lie. It's actually complex. 1 second. Let's raid. Where do I do this? One sec. second. One second. Where do we do this? Huh? Public, restrictions, category, thumbnail, playlist, audience, paid promotion, altered content, automatic chapters, featured places. Dude, I have no idea. Customization, redirect. Oh, wait, redirect. Redirect. Trade fly. Hello? Keyboard? Wait, is my keyboard... oh, there we go. It had to connect. Trade fly? What's his... Oh, he's live. Okay, there we go. So, yo, everyone, if you go to trade fly, just in the chat, spam the raccoon emote. Spam this one, right? So I'll join as well. I'll quickly go to trade fly as well. And we're all going to spam the raccoon emote, okay? That's what we're gonna do. Okay, that's gonna be okay. I save. Okay, I saved it. So I actually don't know how this works, but anyway, I'll join him. So thanks everyone for being here. I appreciate it. Let's go to TradeFly, and then we're gonna spam the raccoon. So cheers everyone. Thanks for being here. Hopefully you have a good weekend, and I'll see you at the next one. Okay. See you at TradeFly.